Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday, June 14th, and it is approximately 8:02. We had to get some things together before we came on, but we knew you would take this extra time that we have given you to make sure you let your friends, your other friends and family know that we are in fact here. So please go ahead and share this. Let them know we're going to have a really good conversation tonight. I wish I knew how to. All I can do is spirit fingers. Y'all see those? Tonight is our 50th episode. Can you believe that? I cannot. It seems like just yesterday that we got started. So, but this is our 50th episode. So go ahead and let somebody know that we're going to have a good time tonight. I'm going to tag a couple of people and friends. I try to tag as many of you as I can, but yeah, I can't type quite as fast on my phone. You know my debacle with typing on the laptop. But go ahead and let somebody know that we are here and we would love, love, love to see them here as well. I'm going to drop this in a couple of groups that I'm a part of. Let's see. Okay. All right.
Welcome. And you guys share as well. My Dr. Cradle is sharing and tagging and adding. Episode 50, I read that only 10% of podcasts get to episode 50. They get
Really?
past only 10%. Only 10%.
Wow.
So that made me feel good that we persevered and pushed through and made it
Yes.
episode 50.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah. And those of you that keep coming back, watching live, watching on the replay, we thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
we
for giving
do.
us a reason to come back.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. It's 8:04, so um I'm sure Pastor Weaver will join us momentarily. I am one third of your hosting team, Dr. Marcia Cradle, and we also have here Coach Lima Johnson. And as she said, we're super excited. This is a very special episode of Lean In with CWJ. And we are celebrating, if you didn't hear it just a moment ago, we are celebrating a milestone that's really hard to believe. It's our 50th episode. And like Coach Lima said, only 10% of podcasts make it this far. And so before we go any further, we want to pause and just say thank you. Thank you for every view, every share, every comment, every word of encouragement, and every conversation you've had with us over these past 50 episodes. Whether you've been with us since episode one or this is your first time joining us, we are grateful that you have chosen to lean in with us. And it started out as a simple idea and it became a commitment. What started out as conversations became community, and what started out as a leap of faith became a platform where real people have shared real stories about real life. And tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of talking about somebody else's journey, we're going to share our journey. We're going to be talking about what it was like to step out and do something new and different. We'll, discuss all the things that go along with when you start something new. And I'm sure many of you have gone through this process. We're going to just have a good conversation. You know how we do. And so we just want to remind you, every time you have a dream, you think about your business, your ministry, a book, or even another podcast, every vision starts with someone deciding to take the first step. So get comfortable, jump in the comments, invite a friend, and help us celebrate 50 episodes of growth, faith, laughter, learning, and community. This is Lean In with CWJ. Let's get started.
Let's get started. Let's
Let's
get
get it started. If I, I'm like those people. So there's memes where they say, "Let's do this and see if we can quit our job." Yeah, I won't be able to quit my job. Singing is not my thing, people. But I give it a really good try.
So, Dr. Cradle, I want to say this because some viewers know, some viewers may not know that Lean In with CWJ um, evolved from something else, from another
Yeah,
one of your podcasts. And just FYI to the audience, nothing that we talk about is ever is scripted. We come up with topics that we think may be interesting, maybe tie into last week's, or maybe sometimes we just come up with topics of something totally different, but nothing is ever scripted. We
mhm.
don't, rehearse what we're going to say. We don't know what the other co-host is going to say. And that just speaks to our energy, our synergy together, and our connection. But I want to talk about for you, Dr. Cradle, because this didn't just start with Lean In with CWJ. From
Right.
what I know, it started with CW Talks. So I don't even know if there was something prior to that. So can you take us back to the very beginning
Yeah.
of when you realized that you wanted to start a podcast? Because this is the baby of that.
Yes, yes. So, it's funny you said, because I was thinking about it earlier today. This started out as something that I used to call Thoughtful Thursday. And so I used to air by myself, which is scary, on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. And I would just have same kind of thing, just conversations. And then I started asking people to come on and be guests on the show. And then finally, I invited Pastor Weaver. And then after and I keep saying then, but after Pastor Weaver came on as a guest, I told him he was now hired and he couldn't leave. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was voluntold about being on Thoughtful Thursday. And then we went to Lean In with CW, or CW Talks. That's what we used to call it, CW
Mhm.
Talks. And just from a conversation that he and I had, we knew that you were an amazing, amazing life coach. And he said, let's invite her. And we prayed about it. And you didn't know that we had been praying you into this the whole time. And so you agreed to be a part of it. And it has evolved to Lean In with CWJ. And I'm grateful, very grateful.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it started out as Thoughtful Thursdays. How long did
Mhm.
you do Thoughtful Thursdays before it evolved to CW Talks?
I would say probably almost 2 years.
Wow.
Almost 2 years. It was just a thing of trying to have conversations about things that I was thinking about, things that people were talking to me about. And I just said, I want to be able to share this not just with my uh, very close circle, but I want, because I knew that other people were going through some of the same things. They were having some of the same types of conversations. And I said, let's just put it out there and see what happens.
Wow. That's interesting because even with you saying that, you doing that for 2 years before that evolved into CW Talks, that takes a lot of commitment. I'll say that, to come on week after week, have conversations, ask questions, maybe get asked questions. So when you first did your first episode, if you can remember, I know I'm taking you back. If you can remember, because we've been doing Lean In with CWJ now for about a year now. So
Right,
I'm taking
right.
you back. What would you say was the biggest fear you had about just putting your voice out there, just to do your first
Mhm.
episode of Thoughtful Thursdays? Did you have any fears,
Uh,
or yeah,
did I?
yeah,
Yes, most
yeah.
definitely. And my fear was that nobody would tune in.
Mhm.
I thought, and there were some episodes where I told people, I said, I don't know if anybody's out there or not, because I wasn't doing as much interacting with my audience because it was just me trying to do everything. And I would sometimes say, I don't know if anybody's out there, but here are a few thoughts that I have. And so I was very fearful about it. And I also suffered from what we know to be imposter syndrome because I said, I'm not a professional podcaster. Why would anyone tune into me and want to hear what I have to say? So there was definitely a fear factor involved.
Yeah. One of the things I like about, there's the upside and the downside to the podcast world, of course, just like
Hmm.
anything else. But one of the things I like about podcasting, going live, that it's not like, say for example, people, journalists, people that are on your traditional television, on the
Hmm.
news, where there has to be, where you have to be polished, where you have to almost um, come outside yourself, if you will, to please the audience. You kind of have to stay politically correct, is what I'm
Right,
saying. So one
right.
of the upsides, I think, to the podcast world, to just being able to go live on social media, is that there is the ability to stay true to self.
Hmm.
You can stay true to who you are. You don't have to, what they say, you don't have to cosplay. You don't have to, blow with the wind. You can kind of stand 10 toes in who you are and be as authentic if you choose to. You
Hmm.
can find some people that kind of take the other route. But that is one of the things that I embrace about this world, that you can stay true to your voice.
Hmm. Hmm.
So how do you stay true to yourself even when, say, you weren't getting the numbers, say maybe you weren't getting the views, like you said, if anybody's out there, how did you stay true to that?
Um, I just decided that God had given me something to say,
Mhm.
and whether somebody else heard it, that wasn't. I was going to be obedient and have those conversations. And so, if nobody joined, then maybe it was he. Maybe God was just telling me to. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. And I just said, I'm just gonna go for it. And you know what's really ironic, Coach Lima, is that I meet people or know people, and we'll start having conversations, and they'll say, "Well, oh yeah, I've been watching your podcast," but they never say anything.
Mhm.
And so that's why we have to keep going because there's somebody out there who's listening and needs to hear what we're saying, and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we have to be obedient. It's not our I can't be concerned about when they're listening to it because sometimes they might not listen to it right away, but they go back and watch the replay. And so I know that this is one of those things where we just have to be obedient.
Yeah. I agree. I like what you're saying, that you don't get caught up in the viewership, and I know we don't either, with on this platform.
Hmm.
But that's so important, because I'm just of the belief that even if people are watching and they're not engaging and they're not asking questions, it does
Hmm.
not mean that it's not hitting the ears and the hearts of people. It doesn't mean that what we're saying is not helping. It doesn't mean
Hmm.
that even if it is just one person that resonates with something, or it creates a shift, with one person, then it's, in my opinion, it's impactful and it's effective. Because I've been on some podcasts where I'm watching and it's been so good, it's been good information, and I don't engage.
Hmm.
Take it in. I may take notes, I just take it in, I may like it, I may not.
Right.
So I think it's important on any platform, especially like with podcasts and things, that if God has given you a vision, as you spoke about, Dr. Cradle, that you just be obedient and you keep going.
Hmm.
You keep going. Because you just never know what it can evolve into, what path it can put you on, who you can meet. Because you and I met through Pastor Weaver.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was from me watching CW Talks. I would catch
Okay.
episodes and I would share episodes with my brother because you guys would talk a lot about business,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual. I would just share the episodes with people, and then you you and Pastor Weaver invited me on one of your episodes
Mm-hmm.
on and talk. We all three of us talked about some things, but you invited me on as a speaker, and that was that. Even then, I don't think there was a lean in with CWJ
Mm-mm.
in our minds as of yet.
Nope. But I think that was God preparing us
Hmm.
to have lean in with CWJ,
Yeah,
because it just now, it just feels like I have known you forever.
yeah,
And so I know that was him just preparing us. Go ahead, have some conversations, and then invite her in. So that's been a beautiful thing. A
yeah.
beautiful thing.
And here we are at episode
Yes.
episode 50.
Episode 50
Yeah.
is just hard to believe. And I have to shout out to my husband, who has been, he lets me, steal away for
Hmm.
this time, because and my daughter, because it does take time. And I, same thing with you. You have a husband and a son, and Pastor Weaver has a wife and children. We have to take some time away from them in order to do this. So I'm grateful to your family, to his family, and most grateful to my husband for allowing me to be able to walk in my vision, walk in my destiny. So thank you, honey.
Yeah, because it takes we do every week what we do, no matter what we do, it requires sacrifice.
Hmm.
And one of those sacrifices is where we have to pull away. We have to pull away from whatever family, work, whatever else we have going on.
Yep.
We have to pull away, and we focus, and we've done that um, week after week, and it's not always easy. I'm on a different time zone. I'm
Yes.
on Pacific time. And you guys, it's 8, almost 9 o'clock. When we get started, and once we get done. So not that that's a challenge or a barrier, but it's still a consideration. The
Hmm.
time difference, and I may have something going on this time of day, and you guys have already lived through this time of day. So we always have
That's
to take that into consideration.
yes.
But
Hmm.
but it's worth the sacrifice. I think that anything that God gives us a vision to do is it's worth the sacrifice.
Yeah,
I remember,
I agree.
yeah, Pastor Weaver and I had a conversation, not necessarily about lean in with CWJ because it hadn't happened yet, but I think that possibly CW Talks was coming to, not hitting a wall, but it was like, okay, now this is a season of evolving. Which way are we going to go with this? And
Hmm. Hmm.
I'll never forget it. I was leaving this Women's Health Expo, and he called me, and we were talking, and he said something to me like, "You need to get ready to do a podcast or something." You know how he's very direct and
Yeah.
really give you a whole lot. And I was like, "A podcast? What are you talking about? Podcast?" I said, I get on social media here and there, and I'll do some lives, or I'll upload some pre-recorded videos. And he said that in essence is a podcast.
Hmm.
And so he said, okay, well, we're gonna get with Sia. We're gonna get with Sia. And I was like, he said, and we'll connect. And I was thinking, okay, but still not having an idea of what this looked like or what he was even talking about.
Right. Right.
I just
'Cause
said,
that's,
okay.
yeah, because that's how he does. He'll say something, you're like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
So yes, yes. And I'm just grateful that you answered the call,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. I'm
yeah. And it
grateful
was
that you,
obedience. I
yeah,
knew that I was where I was evolving into something, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I didn't know in what direction, but I know that the conversation with him was very divine and
mm-hmm,
very timely, because I was at a ceiling. Like, okay, I know that I'm supposed to be pivoting here, but I just don't know what that looks like.
right, right. And I like I said, I just know that this was a divine thing for us. And so many people, like I said, they don't necessarily say anything, but that's just not for us to that's not for us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do what we've been told to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we do that, that's how more and more people find out about the podcast, because people will say, "Oh, I was listening to a podcast. You CWJ, they're on Sunday nights at 8." And then that's how people find out about it. And I think that when they do, it gives them, because one thing about us, and I love what you said earlier when you said we this is not scripted. We are talking from the heart. We discuss what overall what we're going to talk about, but it's not scripted. It's not scripted.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it makes for a more authentic conversation
Mm-hmm.
than following a script, because we really, even once we come up with a title, we still never know where any one of us is going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
The title can say one thing, but it may mean something different for each one of us. And so
Right.
that happens, where we get on here and it's just like, oh, okay. So there's no sense in scripting it, because it allows for the conversation to flow
Mm-hmm.
organically, right?
Yep.
Dr. Cradle, I want to talk about the part of you, or the part of me, or the part of us, that the version of us that is ready to quit when God gives us a vision and we step out in obedience. But as we are working the vision and following in the path, that there is a version of us that's that sometimes, more often than not, wants to quit.
I
Can you talk about that?
Let me just be transparent. So many people know that I am an educator, and towards the end of the school year, it gets really, really heavy. And I'm just be honest, y'all, I'll be tired.
Mhm.
It's like I just want to get in the bed. I don't want to think about anything. And there were times, especially, and it usually happens around the same time period, around late April, May. Um, I start thinking, I don't know if I'm do this. No, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. I don't want to think about having to, prepare for something. I don't want to try to keep a little bit of makeup on till
Mhm.
8 o'clock. I want to go ahead and just, put my rag on my. I don't sleep with a rag on my head, y'all. Mr. Crater don't play that. I don't put no rag on. He was crazy like, ain't no rags on the head around
Not over here.
here. So, but there are nights when I'm just like, I just want, because I know next week is going to be a rough one.
Mhm.
It's exam time, it's end of the semester, and all this stuff. And somebody said the end of the school year is not a game, and they ain't never lied. So
Mhm.
I know that time is when it's really tough for me, and that's time those times like that, that's when I want to just say, what, I quit. But then I hear God saying, excuse me, because that's how he talked to me.
Mhm.
Excuse me, miss, didn't you tell me that you wanted to use your voice to help somebody else? And I've given you a platform. So suck it up, buttercup, and and just keep it moving. So and then there'll be something that you'll say. There'll be something that Pastor Weaver will say that will help me to keep moving forward. So I'm grateful for that. And if anybody says they never think about quitting a dream or a vision,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
they're not being honest with
We're going to
themselves.
question their honesty, because
Yeah.
there's no way that God can give you a vision and the enemy not come and attack it. There's
Because
absolutely
he
no way.
exactly because he knows that the vision is something powerful.
Mhm.
And this is something, and my friends can tell you, I say that I just said it yesterday. We're just one yes away.
Mhm.
Don't stop your vision. You're just one yes away. So it may seem like that it's taking a long time, but I can truthfully say these 50 episodes or the 49 previous ones have, it didn't even seem like it. Thank goodness for Coach Lima, because she keeps up with how many episodes. I'm like, wait, what, 50?
Mhm.
So our time is not his time. So just keep pushing through. And if he tells you to stop, then you stop, of course.
Yeah.
But if he's telling you to keep moving forward, then that's what you should do.
Yeah. And not only that, I really believe that when God, in my experience, the vision that God has given me for whatever it is I'm doing in my life, I ultimately end up loving doing it. No matter how hard, I always say just because it's hard doesn't mean that it's not the right thing to do. Being
Yes.
being a mother is hard, but does that mean I don't get to be I got to stop being a mom, or I get to stop because it's hard? No. And it doesn't mean that I'm doing it wrong or you're doing it wrong, Dr. Cradle. It just means that it's hard,
Mm-hmm.
but it's necessary. And I think I know that applies to vision and other parts of our purpose. It gets hard, but it I don't know. And if somebody else can speak to this, if God has ever given you a vision or something to do that you just ended up not ultimately loving, that, because that's not my story. I've always ended up loving what it is, even if I didn't understand it, even if I was afraid in the beginning, even if I
Mm-hmm.
was confused or didn't know what this is all about, it's still something that I ultimately found joy in and fulfillment in.
Yes.
So I think too, if there's something that God has given you, I always talk about that good idea versus that God idea. That's when you
Mm.
kind of have to check what it is that you're doing, because if it's something that you're constantly doing that's in a begrudging way,
Mm-hmm.
and there's resistance, and you don't find the love and the passion for it, I'm going to challenge you to rethink what it is that you're doing and really really ask, is this a good idea or is this a God idea?
That's good, Coach. Y'all write that one. I'm not taking notes tonight, y'all. It's on you tonight. That she just gave you a really good nugget. Is this a good idea or is this a God idea? I said I wasn't gonna write it down, but I gotta write it down. I'm sorry, y'all.
Because we can be deceived by a good idea.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I hope you wrote that one. I'm not gonna type on my laptop so y'all can hear it, but go ahead. Is this a good idea or a God idea?
Yeah.
That's good. And the good news is that when it's a God idea, nothing can stop it.
Yeah. But you.
Yeah, right. Nothing but
Yeah.
you. No, nobody else can stop it when it's a God idea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
think about that. Think about that. That was really good. That really, that's, look, that did something to my spirit.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, because I think we do. We live in, again. We talk about all the information. We talk about, there's so many podcasts. I mean, there's just so many people talking about so many things,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some people out there that are expertise in their area, and there's some people out there that I personally, I'm not speaking for Lena and with CWJ. I'm speaking for Lima, that I think that they should turn the microphone off and they should move away. They should move away from the screen. There's just those people out there. But because we're so inundated with information, we're so inundated with other people's ideas and other people's thought processes, sometimes the lines get blurred and those wires get crossed.
Right.
And somebody may say something to you or offer something to you, and it may be a good idea, but it may not, in essence, be what God is calling you to do. You may be able to take some of this information and help you do what it is that you're supposed to do. But we have to be very clear with God's voice within us that is
Mm-hmm.
speaking to us, because so much static can get in, so much noise can get in. And that is how you come up with something that is a good idea. But God is like, I didn't tell you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Hmm.
not my voice you heard.
Right. So we have to be very mindful of that. That's why it's really important, in my opinion, for people to take some quiet time, for you to just take time to just meditate and pray and just really be able to clear your mind so you can hear what he has for you.
Mhm.
Because sometimes it gets, you get out there, there's, like you said, there's so much on social media, everything is just going on, and you're not able to really be clear and to really focus on what you need to focus on. So it starts to cause confusion, but we know he doesn't do confusion.
Mhm.
So that's why it's important to sit in that quiet time to just reflect and be able to hear from him. So
Absolutely. So I
yes.
know we're kind of at time, but I want to talk about really quick
Okay.
um, the future. I know Pastor Weaver's not here. He's somewhere on assignment. He's so busy. So we're holding down the fort. The future of Lean In with CWJ. What is the vision that you see for Lean In with CWJ, and how this moves forward?
So it's, again, she's so intuitive. I was just thinking this past week, I said, you know what would be good? It would be good for people to invite us to their city to do live versions of Lean In with CWJ. So for those of you who are out there, if you want to invite us to your city, reach out to one of us and let us know so that we can do some live shows from other places. And I think that that will be meaningful because it will give us an opportunity to meet a totally different audience. Now, we love you guys, of course, we love all of you, but I think we can also open it up for other people to hear some of the things that we're saying, some of the things that we're talking about. So feel free to reach out to me, Coach Lima, Pastor Weaver. Reach out to one of us because that's one thing that I see us doing is going to other cities and having these lives. Now, the thing is, the when we come to your city, it does not have to be on a Sunday night because we can record it and then post it later. But we would love to come to your city and have some conversations with you. So reach out to us and we'll have some conversations about how we can get to where you are.
Yeah. So I'm in agreement. You the mama bear of this thing. I'm just grateful that you guys entrusted me with this seat because I know you and Pastor have some really in-depth, authentic conversations and a lot of information, a lot of things to help people, a lot of things that we say it ends up helping us as well. And so
Hmm.
I'm grateful that God chose me first, to be in this seat, but that you guys you trusted me with this seat. And I believe that we just have such a secret sauce to, how we interact, how we engage with one another, how we
Hmm.
come up with ideas, how we respect one another's opinions about things, the knowledge that each of us may have about a thing. And so I am super grateful to be a part of this. I really am. I'm as much as we're all talking and we're talking to the viewers, I learn so much week after week listening to Pastor, listening to you, just listening to our engagement and how that flows because like we both said, it's not scripted. So we don't know which way the conversation is going to go. We really don't. And so I'm super grateful for that.
And that's the beautiful thing is that we have these authentic conversations, and each of us is growing in some way from the conversation, and then we're also helping our followers to grow as well,
Yeah.
and that's really important to me. I told somebody a little while ago that I want to be a resource for people.
Mhm.
I want people to be able to say, have you heard anything about where I can get some support for this or that? And so I do want to be that resource. And I want people to know that when they're talking with us, that we are genuine. And I think people can tell that we're genuine when
Yeah.
we're having these conversations. So that's really important to me.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, audience, do you guys have any questions for us? We had a few comments. Someone said that God can download to us, quote unquote, good ideas, and also that the noise can be overwhelming at times. Um, we have someone from Atlantic City. So,
Oh wow.
welcome, Atlantic City. Um, and then, of course, we have people here in Atlanta. We have someone who said happy 50th episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And several people said happy 50th episode. So we appreciate you guys. And we had someone say that they appreciate all that we do. And we are grateful to be in a position to do it. So thank you.
Thank you guys. I just pulled up the comments because my phone went dark. So I see DL Todd. She is one of my best friends from New Jersey. She's also a friend of Pastor Weaver. We went to high school together. They went to college together.
Awesome.
So shout out to Darshell, and I see somebody named Toy Beavers. Thank you for wishing us a happy 50th episode. It's been exciting. And I'm
Yes,
excited for what's to come. I
me
really
too.
am. Yeah.
I am too. I am too. And I see
And
my
me and Dr.
sister.
Cradle didn't plan this red thing. We
I
both
know.
popped up and like, you
We
wearing
red today. Yes, yes, yes. Shout out to my sister Bonnie, who is a faithful follower. Of course, my husband Toy is she's retired now, but we used to work together, and she's also my sorority sister. So thank you. Shout out to you, Toy. My sister friend Pam, who is just an amazing young lady. Some of these people we're gonna have to get on a show because they have some amazing stories. And Toy, it would be great to have your mom up here one week. Toy's mom is wait, is she 90 or 91? Toy, drop it in the chat. Is she 90 or 91? But she is just, she's a wealth of information and wisdom. And she is a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. So for everybody else out there, whatever um, football team you support, because Mrs. Beavers is 90 or 91, we just,
Wow.
it's, oh, and Sora Todd, thank you. We are both members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So welcome, welcome, Soror. Make sure you let the chapter know that we up here every night, every Sunday night at 8, girl. Tell them to join us. But yes, I just cannot thank everyone enough. This is just amazing. Amazing. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Do you have any announcements or anything, Coach Rima?
It's like a half of announcement. And I feel half of announcement because
Okay.
there will be a Matters of the Heart retreat, Las Vegas 2027. And the reason
Oh,
why it's a half announcement because I am considering the dates
okay.
for next year, but it's absolutely happening. I've made the decision to do it again because I've been kind of like on the fence about it, trying to
Mhm.
decide if I want to do it again because there's other things going on next year and in my personal life that we're
Yeah.
celebrating. However, it will happen. Matters of the Heart retreat, Las Vegas. So just stay tuned for the dates. And I just want to say, if you want to be a part of it, it's a 4-day retreat. Last year, it sold out in less than 2 months. So once I announce it and I announce the dates and I put the information out there, if you want to be a part of it, please email me right away and reserve your spot.
Awesome. 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 Well, I have to congratulate you for that because I know it was an amazing, amazing event. And this one is 2027 is going to a new level. I already know that. So
Thank you.
get ready. What does TD Jake say? Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Yeah.
Well,
Get
get
ready.
ready. Yes. So yesterday, I had my Brewed for More coffee event where I invited, I told 30 women, hey, I just want to, let's just go somewhere and have coffee and conversation. It's no agenda, just, my growing up, my mother and my aunties would sit around and drink coffee. And I said, let's just do that so, women can just get together and just relax for an hour or so. Well, there were actually 15 women who took me up on the offer to buy them a cup of coffee. So we met at the cutest little coffee shop in Lawrenceville, and we just had a blast. We laughed, we just talked, we had some good coffee, and we were at a place called Beans and Butter. Coach
Oh,
Lima,
that's cute.
Coach Lima, I had the best sweet potato muffin I have ever had in my life.
Really?
And it was, and people had, they ordered different things, and everything was just so good. And the owner came out and chatted with us, took pictures for us. So we just had a really good
Ah,
time. And so um, the women from that afterwards reached out. Several of them have reached out and said, "So where are we going next?" So we're going to try to get together every, like every other month or so, just for a cup of coffee. Or actually, one of the ladies' husbands owns a smoothie shop. So next, we're going to go get smoothies. So just some time. So thank you to everyone who was able to come out for that. And I'll let you know when we're going to go on our next adventure.
I love that. I like the name Beans and Butter. I was wondering what the butter was. I know what the beans is about, but the butter is because they have pastries and muffins and things
Yes.
like that. I love
Yes. Yes. So it was really nice. Really nice. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions, so we're not going to hold you all much longer, just another minute or two. But what an incredible conversation. Tonight we've shared some of our stories, some of the lessons, some of the challenges and our victories, but more importantly, we hope you've seen something bigger than us. We hope you've seen what's possible when ordinary people decide to trust God, trust the process, and take a chance on an idea that won't leave them alone. 50 episodes ago, we didn't know exactly what this journey would become. We didn't know who would watch. We didn't know who would be impacted. We didn't know how many lives would be touched. But we believed there was value in showing up, being authentic, and creating space for meaningful conversations. So, to every person who has watched, liked, shared, commented, encouraged us, prayed for us, challenged us, and supported us, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. As we celebrate this milestone, we're reminded that the best chapters are often still ahead of us. So tonight, we leave you with this question: what dream, idea, goal, or calling have you placed on a shelf that deserves another chance? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to write the book. Maybe it's time to start the business, launch the ministry, go back to school. Believe in yourself again. Do not let fear have the final word. Take the step, trust the process, and remember that every great journey begins with the decision to start. So thank you for helping us to reach 50 episodes. And here's to the next 50 and beyond. Until next time, keep leaning in, keep growing, keep believing, and keep becoming the best version of yourself. Good night, everyone.
that. Good night.